Welcome to the Medical Device Made Easy podcast. Here is Monir El Azzouzi from easymedicaldevice.com, and today we'll do the June update. So let's start first by saying, okay, IVDR is live. So we have passed the 26th of May 2022 and now IVDR is live, and apparently there is no earth shaking, there is no problem, everything is fine. So let's see. As we know, IVDR for Class A, we have now a transition, so it means that all Class A devices under IVDR should be then compliant to IVDR, but Class A products have no involvement of a notified body, so this is maybe why there is no kind of issue for the moment. So, and then there will be some phases for the other classes. So actually we saw a lot of messages from any countries in Europe to say, to talk about that within their national authorities about IVDR that is live and now rules are changing, which is great. And we had a specific message also related to the Swiss. So I am in Switzerland. So in Switzerland, what's happening is, as I've told you for MDR, there should be normally an MRA, Mutual Recognition Agreement, that is signed between Switzerland and Europe, so that both recognize MDR for both countries, and that there is no kind of barrier in terms of entry or in terms of work for those regulations. But the signature of this agreement between Europe and Switzerland was not done for MDR. And it's the same for IVDR. So we had received again a message from the EU Commission to say that this is not done for IVDR, and then Switzerland is considered as a third country for IVDR. So exactly the same as MDR, which is aligned, which is, if I can say, normal. So what does it mean? It means also that Switzerland needs manufacturers from Switzerland needs to involve an authorized representative and an importer for IVDR products when they are going to the European Union. But it's the same also for the European Union people that should find an authorized representative in Switzerland and an importer in Switzerland to then place their devices on the market. So this is something that is really important. And actually, this is something that even the Swiss authorities are looking at, because they have also updated their legislation. So it's called the new IVDV, so the Ordinance on In Vitro Diagnostic. So it's the same as for MDR or for ODIM, so Medical Device Ordinance in Medical Device Regulation for Switzerland. So here they have also updated the In Vitro Diagnostic Medical Ordinance for Switzerland. So this is something that is also aligned with what happened to MDR, we'll see exactly what is the consequence for some manufacturers. But for MDR, it went well, so I suppose that for IVDR, it will also go fine. Okay, so now in Europe, what's happening? So as we talked about IVDR, we have also Team NB that reissued a survey, which is the Association for Notified Bodies, a survey talking about the number of certificates that were issued under MDR, under IVDR, the certificates that were issued before under MDD and IVDD, etc. And then to make a review of the situation for those type of products. And same conclusion. The conclusion is that notified bodies will not have enough capacities in 2024 for MDR products to be then placed on the market. To be transitioning from MDD to MDR. So, for example, they are talking about the number of certificates that are expiring during every year. So, in 2022, there will be 1,580 MDD certificates that will expire. In 2023, there will be 3,447 certificates that will expire, and those certificates then should be renewed. But in 2024, there are 13,104 certificates that should expire. And the information also that we can see here is the fact that the capacity of notified bodies per year is around 6,300 certificates. So we see here that we will not make it if we continue like that in terms of certification. But what is the plan? there is no plan for the moment. There is no mention. There is no discussion. Apparently, actually, we are going like it is, and we'll see if I can say. But my advice, because we always have to advise our auditors here, so mainly you have to try to make your recertification earlier. So instead of doing it in 2024, if you can come back a bit of 2023, would be really a great strategy, because if you are hit by this date and there is no solution in the other side from the EU Commission, then you are also not able to place devices on the market per law. So this is mainly the point here. So try to make things in advance. Notified bodies will have some capacity in 2023, so be the one that take that instead of being the one that waits for 2024 and maybe got hit by this wall. Okay, some changes now on the harmonized standards. So I mean changes, additions, because as we know, for MDR and IVDR, all the harmonized standards were not published for the moment. So for the moment, there are few of them. Actually, for IVDR, we had an inclusion of a new standard, which is the ISO 14971 for risk management, but there is no surprises here. And the changes of the version of the 13485 to the 13485 with amendment 2021. So there are not big changes, but yeah, this is worth mentioning. And for MDR, the same inclusion of the 14971 2019, and changes also to the 13485, but also inclusion of the ISO 285, which is for steam sterilization. So we remind you that to show compliance to the regulation, using the harmonized standards is key. You have to use that or show that you are compliant to them, because then notified bodies do have no arguments against you to say that you are not compliant. If you are not using the harmonized standards, you have to justify why you use a certain methodology that is not standardized, if I can say. So using the harmonized standard is key. So it's not just mentioning it, because I see a lot of manufacturers that are just mentioning the standards, and when we make a deep dive on it, we see that no, they are not compliant to it. For example, 14971, please look at the new standard 14971 for risk management. It's different, a bit different from what you had before. Yeah, you will get compliant, because notified bodies, when they will look at that, they will check if you are compliant to the standard. So it means that they will really check if the documentation are really aligned to what is mentioned on the standard. And also your procedure, if your procedure is mentioning a certain standard, update it also if the standard has changed there. Okay, now Italy. So Italy has issued an establishment of national surveillance network. So mainly it's just an information about capturing vigilance reporting from public and private health sector. So doctors or people that are in the hospital, for example, to just get any vigilance, any adverse events to receive that. So it's something that is in addition also to what manufacturers should do to UDAMED. So mainly using UDAMED for the vigilance reporting. So here it's more for the public sector, so that they are alerting of a certain product that maybe is not working correctly. So if you want to get more information about how to use this kind of website, you can go on the show notes and you'll have all the links. Okay, now just a reminder again. We are at 1 year, nearly 1 year, of the UK CA. So in 1st of July 2023, the UK will not accept any more CE marking. It's what they are saying. So it means that you have to move to UK CA. So how to move to UK CA while there is no real publication of any new regulation? Because you remember in November last year, we talked about the consultation for the new regulation in the UK. Now nothing is happening for the moment, so we don't know what's happening. So actually the UK regulation or UK rules, legislation is following what's happening within the MDD, the AI MDD or the IVDD. So if you have a dossier that is following that, you have just, if I can say, to change it a bit to meet the requirements of the UKCA, but not too much. But yeah, what will happen in June? Will there be still those rules, or will there be a new legislation? So just introducing this topic because I read an article from Ronald Boumans. So we met with Ronald Boumans and we talked about his transition also, and he's providing some tips of the week. And one of the tips was about preparing for the UK CA marking. So he put in place a lot of scenarios, a lot of information. So I'm really advising you to go and to just read that if you are concerned by the UK CA. I will try maybe to invite him also to talk more about this topic. Okay, so last month, we were to the MEDTECH forum in Barcelona. So you saw that on the two precedent videos, we talked with Eric Volbrecht. So first time I met Eric Volbrecht, and we explained more about the situation for EU MDR, MDR and IVDR. So there was a lot of discussion. Great to meet again everybody, and I had made also some few interviews. So I'll try to release that in the few next days or next week, so that you can see also some interviews that I have done with Ronald Boumans, with also Peter Obdenis for one of the software, for one of the tools that he's providing. We had also met the team of MECOMED, so the equivalent of MEDTECH Europe but in the Middle East, and we have also met with lawyers, with people there. So it's interesting that to hear from them exactly what they think about the situation for MDR. So I hope you'll see that soon. And last, so this month we have the Green Belt certification program that will start in June 27th until July 1st. So as usual, so I'm spending one full week with you to explain to you the EU MDR, to answer your questions, to provide you information about, general information about why MDR, because some people are asking why do we have this MDR, why MDD was not sufficient. So I'm explaining that to you with all the timelines, all the rules to apply. We're also talking about the role of economic operators, of PRC. We talk about the classification. So I place you some images of products and I ask you what's the class of these products, or is it a medical device? So it's a full week, as I've said, where I'm training people about UMDR. So this month, it will be the June 27th until July 1st. And at the end of the week, then I open the exam. So it's an exam with 20 questions that people have to answer within 60 minutes. And if they reach 80%, then they pass the exam and they got their diploma, if I can say. So if you are interested, so there is the link on the show notes. It's school.easymedicaldevice.com/course/GB19 because it's the 19th edition that I'm doing now. So more than 1 year that we are doing that, and yeah, everybody is really happy of this training. So don't hesitate to go and to be coming for this session. The next session will be maybe in September, so yeah, because I will take a bit of break during this summer. So the next session will be maybe in September, so don't hesitate to join us. Notified bodies. So we have 3 notified bodies that were accredited. There are 3 EC International under IVDR. There is TÜV-Nord under EU MDR, and there is Berlin CERT under EU MDR. So what's the count now? So we have 30 notified bodies under MDR. So we passed the bar of, we reached the bar of 30 for the moment. Remember that there were more than 50 under MDD and AIMDD. So 7 under IVDR. So it's going better, but it's not enough, for me. And here we have also the review from Europe about the overview of the notified bodies, at which stage they are actually. So you can see here that apparently 57 notified bodies applied for MDR and 18 for IVDR, and they are now at different stages of the certification. So you can see here, but for now we got only 30 and 7. So let's see if it's enough, but I know it's not enough because I am with my manufacturers. I'm helping a lot of manufacturers, and we are contacting notified bodies, and the prices are high, to be honest, because we look at some prices, and also the dates are not really good, because sometimes it's like a 1 year time period to review documentation. So yeah, it's why I'm saying if you really need a notified body, try to contact them now. Don't wait until your certificate expires, because maybe you'll be in trouble there. Okay, now let's talk guidances. So MDCG issued a lot of guidances this month, so really interesting. So first one for IVDR, we have the MDCG 2022-6, which is the one about significant changes. So remember, the rules are the same for MDR and IVDR. As soon as the date of application for IVDR is launched, so 26th of May 2022. Now you are in a phase, in a transition phase until the end of this period where any significant change of your products make you fall under IVDR then. So it means that if you have a certificate under or no certificate, but if you are under IVDD, and if you make a significant change that is mentioned on this guidance, the MDCG 2022-6, then normally you have to fall immediately on IVDR. So it means that you have immediately to get a notified body, etc., etc. So make sure that you have no significant changes that are coming for your products, and if there are, try to deal with them and see if you can postpone them or not if you are not ready, because some people are maybe not ready. Even if you are ready, maybe you don't have a notified body, etc. So it's something that you have really to take care of. Okay, we have now the MDCG 2022-7, which is about question and answer about UDI, so the UDI system. So it's a great document because I'm already answering those questions to some people that are contacting me, but so it's great to have that directly here and to see that the answers are the same as what I'm providing. So we have some questions like when to change the UDI code. This is the same I'm receiving from, this is the question that I'm receiving the most from people. So when to change the UDI. So is there some rules? So yes, there are some rules. You have to change the UDI when there is some significant changes to your products, and here it's explained clearly on this. We have also how should be a basic UDI assigned, where the UDI carrier need to be placed on the label. So these are, if I can say, simple questions, but it can be really torturing, if I can say, for manufacturers, because when they think something, when they read, they say, oh, no, it's not that. So the assumption is wrong. So you have really to read those MDCG guidances because notified bodies are reading that also, are trained to that also. So if you are not compliant to them, then you will get a non-conformance. Okay, next one, MDCG 2022-8, which is the talking about IVD legacy devices. So it was the same that we have done for MDR legacy devices. So what is a legacy device, etc. And there are also the mention of the different dates for the application of the rules for IVDR. So for example, the 26th of May 2025 for Class D devices, 26th of May 2026 for Class C devices, 26th of May 2027 for Class B devices, and 26th of May 2027 for Class A devices that are placed on the market in a sterile condition. So these are the dates when IVDR is fully applicable for your products. But IVDR is in place now since the 26th of May 2022. So you have to read that and to look at that, and you look there specifically at Article 110. Okay, another guidance that is similar to what we have for MDR, which is the MDCG 2022-9, which is about the summary of safety and performance template. So mainly it's the equivalent to SSCP for MDR. So here it's the SSP for IVDR. So it's a template where it tells you exactly how to write your SSP. So I think it's something that's really, really important here. And the last one, which is MDCG 2022-10, which is the question and answer about the interface between the 536-/2014, which is about clinical trial for medicinal products, and the IVDR rules. So here it's important to understand that for making some clinical trials on human, you maybe need also some IVD products. So here are the rules of should I use an IVD product that is CE marked? Answer is yes. There are a lot of questions that are interesting. Should I use an in-house IVD authorized for those testing, etc.? So if you are during a clinical trial using those kind of devices, so this is really guidance that you have to look at. So you see here that this month that we had a lot of guidances about IVDR. I'm sure there will be more coming, but it's good to see that there are really some alignments between the rules for MDR and IVDR, which makes it easier also for us. Okay, now podcast, what happened within the medical device rules. So first, we had the episode 179, which was talking about how to certify a software as medical device with Vivek Thakkar. So it was an interesting podcast where we talked about SAMD, software as medical device products, how to get certified, what are the rules, what to go for US and for Europe also, because Vivek is located in the US and is working with that for different regions. Then we have episode 180 where we talk about what happens after the IVDR. So it's good because now we are after IVDR, after the IVDR date of application with Colm O'Rourke. So it was also a great discussion. If you haven't looked at it and if you are in the IVDR business, please go to look at that, even if we are after the date of application, because it gives you a lot of good advices on how to stay compliant, what should be done. And if you haven't done it, maybe it's not too late, so do it now. Okay, episode 181. So I met Eric Volbrecht during the MedTech Europe forum. So it was really great. And during that time, we discussed about the situation for MDR. So it's a global situation in general. It was a great element that we talked about. We made a summary of what happened at the MedTech forum. So don't hesitate to go listen and discuss that with, check what we discussed with Eric Volbrecht. Then episode 182, so I introduced Smart Eye, which is an electronic quality management system that I have built with Anindya Mukherjee, which is the CEO of S-Cube Technologies. So we work together to build some modules of this EQMS to make it compliant to what manufacturers we are looking at. So there are it's a new EQMS, but yeah, we are making it progress. So don't hesitate also to go to look at this video. If you need a demonstration of the EQMS, so don't hesitate, contact S-Cube Technologies. So you go to the website. You'll have the links here on the show notes. So go to the website, ask for a demo, and you'll try to see if this is suitable for you. And if you have any question or any feedback, so let me know. I will try to answer to you. And so 2 weeks ago, yesterday I published that, but we had the LinkedIn Live with Basil Akroa and Ronald Boumans, where we talked about PRRC feedback. So it's been now 1 year that the PRRC rule for MDR is applicable. There are still a lot of questions, still a lot of things that were not clear for some manufacturers. So I asked Basil Akroa and Ronald Boumans they were coming on behalf of Team PRRC to come and to give us their advice about PRRC. So I think it's a great episode where we had a lot of answers. There were also people on the audience that were answering, that were asking their questions, and we answered to them also. So if you want to look at that, go to the website or go to the show notes, and I will provide you the link for it. Okay, it was a pleasure to have this regulatory update with you. So I hope it's really useful for you. Don't hesitate to place some comments on the YouTube channel or on the podcast webpage. It helps me a lot to understand if this is helpful. If you have also some topic that you want me to talk about, let me know. I will try to integrate that in the next episode. Okay, it was really a pleasure for me, and I wish you a nice day.